on YouTube. Yeah, man, it's Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And y'all are shocked to see me. I bet you are. Y'all probably sitting there like, yo, you're blowing my mind, Kev. I mean, it's only what, 12:17? Yeah, I'm here for your midday drive or midday break or lunch or whatever. Yeah, to try to talk about some nonsense and try to make sense out of the nonsense. You know how I do it. So whether you at work, whether you at the crib, whether you on sick leave or wherever you at, check out the show. That's right. Stick around for a few minutes. Hang out with me while I do a live show that I didn't get a chance to do last night. But guess what, y'all? I'm about to give y'all double for y'all trouble. Not only am I going to do a show right now for your afternoon drive, but I'm coming back at 6 to do another show to address some heavy topics, man. There it is. We got to talk about this coordinated effort to destabilize our country on Saturday, because Donald Trump is having, the little, once again, I'm looking at the way the video looks and I'm like stretched. It's like the video wants to film me vertically, but I forced it to film me horizontally. And so I'm like kind of stretched out and I don't like that. But anyway, I'm going to get to the bottom of those shenanigans when they come down to YouTube. But anyway, like I was saying, I definitely have to talk about what I think is going to be an interesting day on Saturday. I think the left is planning a massive coordinated effort to destabilize many of our cities and really cause some trouble on Saturday. So we're going to be talking about that and the media's participation in that, along with the Democrats, and that will be at 6 o'clock this evening for your drive home. You can check out Kev from Kevin's Corner. But for now, I got to catch up on some stuff that I've been meaning to talk about for a couple days, but I just haven't been able to get to it. Now, before we get into this, also, Israel right now is I guess they went ahead and preemptively struck Iran because Iran didn't want to make a deal when it comes down to what's going on with their nuclear arms race that they got going on. And they've been warned. Trump warned them. And, Israel has a responsibility to make sure that they don't become a victim because they keep pacifying Iran when it comes down to allowing their nuclear arsenal to, develop. We can't have that. See, the problem with these things are when you're dealing with a rogue nation, that's a problem. You don't want a rogue nation to have access to nuclear weapons. A nation that a part of their philosophy is, deaf to a particular group of people, deaf to America, deaf to Israel, and a nation that their religious beliefs trump their rationality, trumps their basic human instinct to survive, because built into that is, we'll hit y'all with the bonsai. If we go down, everybody goes down. Though, you know what? We look at it like, hey, this right here, if we go out, we're going to see Allah. It's Allah's will. And I'm going, Even as a Christian, if you know you're going to die and one day go to see the King of Kings, you're not in a rush. You're not out there going, you know what, I'm about to go ahead and blow up some stuff so I can see Jesus. That's not the style of a Christian. And so when you deal with a religion that's an element of it, with their leaders, I ain't talking about all the people, but with their leadership, you like, yo, these are the type of people you don't want to have a nuclear weapon. You want somebody who got some common sense to where y'all both are standing there with the standoff. Like, hey, man, put the gun down. You put the gun down. At same time, man. All right, easy. That's who you want. You want folks with some self-survival instincts. But when you're going, not to mention, y'all ain't making it easy because every chance you get, you're talking about death to Israel. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not going to let somebody get the drop on me. If my next door neighbor is always going, man, when I get a chance, I'm going to kill Kev. I'm going to blow him up, man. Watch what I do to him. Man, I'd be like, somebody got to do something. If we can't negotiate and this dude stop throwing these threats out there, as I seen building something in his backyard, at some point I got to go ahead and say, well, you forced my hand. I'm not trying to do this. I've warned you All I want to do is just be left alone. Leave me be, but you won't leave me be. So now I got to go ahead and beat you to the punch, lest I wait too long and now I'm dealing with a bigger problem. So we'll sure be talking about that a little more as time goes, I'm sure. As more information comes in, we'll be going into that. But for now, just know that Israel did a very, strategic, precise strike. Yeah, and that's what I like about what Israel's trying to do when it comes down to them being surrounded by all of their enemies. They don't just do what all of these leftists are running around saying they do. That Israel, man, that they're doing genocides and they're just. And I'm going, now, wait a minute. We're talking about a small country about the size of Iowa who is surrounded by enemies. And if they were trying to commit a genocide, most likely they would just go ahead, even though officially and unofficially they don't have nukes. But I'm sure that if they did have nukes, that would be a quick way to get rid of all of their enemies with a quick genocide. And so they're trying to do this as proficient as possible without angering the rest of all of the world, because they're quick to turn on Israel soon as Israel appears to be a little bully. And they're going too far. And I'm going, but they done been through a lot. They probably got a trigger finger, the itchy trigger finger, like we ain't gonna let this happen again now. So anyway, we shall see as time goes by. But for now, we're going to be talking about a couple other things that I didn't get a chance to talk to for your afternoon show. So with that being said, let me go ahead and get loose. Real gold good. Real gold good. Real gold good. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here, gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Yeah, man. So now that I ain't got to go to work tonight, I don't have to rush like I was doing the last couple shows where I was like, all right, I can't even do my opening, my theme song. We got to get to it because I got to go to work. Yeah, man, I'm off. Haha, yeah. But you know who else is off? And I'm talking about off the chain, is the Democrats. These folks are Marxists. They are full-blown Marxists. They are trying to destroy the country, and they think we don't see it. So before we get into what we're going to be showing and revealing later on this afternoon, which you're going to have to come back and check out the show at 6, let's go ahead and hear from Hawker Jeffries, the very effeminate, soft-core, non-testosterone having leader of the Democrat Party, and what he got to say about ICE. Oh, how can I forget that? Check out Kevin's Corner store. Yeah, get your merch, and also text MAGA to 330-974-4607, and feel free to donate to Kevin's channel through either my CASHAPP, PayPal, or just simply through the Super Chat. You're always welcome to do any of those things. So now, let's get back to Hawker Jeffries.
Every single ICE agent who's engaged in this aggressive overreach and are trying to hide their identities from the American people.
Now, why are they trying to do that, Hawker? See, now, do you see how authority these people are? They don't like police. They don't like discipline. They don't like law and order. None of that stuff. So what this fool is doing is basically trying to dox all of the ICE agents. Now, you see how foul this is? These men and women are out there trying to do their job. Now, they'll be the first to tell you they support the men and women in blue and law enforcement, stuff like that. But now all of a sudden, he's so upset with the ICE agents that he wants them to reveal their faces. Now, he ain't talked to them about tactical reasons why they might have their faces covered. He's not involved in that, the strategy and all that stuff. He just is a reckless, stinking politician that is trying to make ICE seem like they're evil, and they're covering their faces because they are up to stuff. They're like the brown shirts, or some type of totalitarian the regime that's just doing the bidding of a king and all of this stuff. That's what he's trying to imply here, because any common sense leader, if they cared about law and order and the men and women who put their lives on the edge, they would never do this. They would never come out and be like, you know what? Even though some of these people could be undercover, even though some of these people might be saying, well, the reason we got to cover our faces is because of Democrats that are demonizing us so much to where y'all putting targets on our back. And you want us to reveal who we are. Why would you do that? Why would you do something that could weaken our law-abiding men and women who are out to do nothing more than, enforce the law? Why would you do something that could put them in danger? This is how reckless, how evil, and how foul these folks are. So now, he is implying that ICE is up to something and they're so evil that we need to see who's doing this to us. Now, he ain't thinking about what could happen to these ICE agents if people start saying, hey, that guy's my neighbor. That guy right there lives down there. Hey, I know that guy. Matter of fact, go ahead, zoom in on his face. Let's blow it up. Let's make sure that we put that on the internet and put his address. He's not even thinking about that. That's how reckless these fools are and how adamant they are about protecting their precious, and I mean precious, illegal immigrants. He's willing to put ICE in danger. Boy, this sapsucker right here, ooh,
will be unsuccessful in doing that. This is America. This is not the Soviet Union. We're not behind the Iron Curtain.
There we go.
This is not the 1930s.
Yeah, there we go. All the references. Now, you see the strategy, y'all. The strategy is to put Trump in a position or predicament to have to go heavy-handed on these liberal S-hole ran, definitely S-hole ran, blue states and that are sanctuary. Yeah, they want to put Trump in a position where he has to step in to bring some type of law and order to all the chaos, which then they can turn around and say, look at him, he's sigging the military on all of these the peaceful protesters, and he's sigging the military on civilians and stuff like that, who just simply came out to protest, which we're going to be exposing that tonight at 6. So make sure you don't miss that show. All right. Yeah, I figure a lot of y'all, wasn't expecting me now, so we might not have a whole crew here. But nonetheless, if you missed the show, you can catch it at 6 too, because we're going to have some juicy stuff at 6. Boy, I said, let me take my time, put these clips together for 6. So now, you see this bum? Do you see this raggedy behind so-called leader of our country? But the Democrats, they only will control a law enforcement agency if they could use it against their political enemies, not to actually bring some type of, law and order to society, not to protect citizens. No, they don't use the institutions for that. They use it for their own personal gain and desires. You think they're worried about crime on the streets? I mean, look at their states and their cities. They don't worry about that mess. Hey, what they worry about is how many grandmothers are showing up at the abortion clinic. How many parents are going down to the teachers' conferences and fussing with the board about the books they're putting in there. How many of these folks right here are on the internet talking about, I believe in the First and Second Amendment and I don't want to get the shot. Those are the type of things that they use, a compromised law agency to their advantage. Yeah, that's what they do. I mean, I can't think of one good thing came out of the FBI or Homeland Security or any of them under Biden. Not one. Yeah, they spent time, putting people on lists like Tulsi Galbraith. They spent their time doing things like that instead of actually stopping crime. Oh, chasing down all those J6ers too that just happen to walk in open door buildings and stuff like that and be shown around by the police officers. So now let's finish with this bum before we move on.
And every single one of them, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will of course be identified.
Of course be identified. Now, why is it this bum out here right now talking about all of these vigilantes, all of these folks running around with their mask on and throwing Molotov cocktails at the police and bricks and stuff like that? All of them coming up with their mask, not just mask to cover their face, but mask to actually deal with like tear gas. They got some high level type masks. I wonder where they get that from, considering that most of them look like they're, teenagers, college students, or either homeless folks. But yet they got money to get all these things, which we're going to be talking about tonight at 6. So be there or be square. But nonetheless, this guy right here, he's not demanding that these folks show up to their peaceful protests with their faces uncovered. He's not demanding that. Because see, I'm wondering if all of these people out there with their faces covered had MAGA hats on. What would be the narrative then? And our faces covered too. MAGA hats with our faces covered. Yeah, look at this right here. They're taking over the whole globe. Look at this. This is unbelievable. So let's continue, though, exposing these raggedy behind Democrats and what their real goal and motive is.
Well,
It's not target. Everyone deserves health care.
even illegals?
Oh, God.
Every single person in the world deserves
Just for the record.
Now, you see, this is what we're dealing with. If we don't win this war, this is what we're going to get, y'all. Right now, they have decided to take a stance with pushing every bit of propaganda and all of their extreme liberal spokesmen out there. This woman right here, I think, is running for some type of office. Now, imagine if she wins. Now, she won't answer the question. She's trying to tiptoe around the tulips. Every single person in the world deserves health care, even illegals. Every single person in the world deserves health care. So basically, yes, illegal immigrants. But see, long as it ain't coming out of her raggedy stinking pocket. See, yeah, she's everybody deserves it. So basically, what she is she's a socialist. Let's go ahead and make sure that we take everybody's money and use it the way we feel it should be used, regardless. Wait a minute. Sorry, but I'm hearing stuff. Don't make me go to the wall of pain. I don't want to do it, but I'll do it if I have to. I'll do it if I have to. I'm always ready. Something close by. Who knows? Might be a couple of liberals watching Kevin's Corner right now. Outside. Yeah, come on, hurry up, everybody. This is where he lives. He's in there. He's right in there. Yeah, the Democrats stock stuff. Let's go in right now. Let's go in with our Molotov cocktails. But I have something waiting on their butts. I'll be in here like show enough off of The Last Dragon. Come on, libs. I got something real for your butt and these hands. That's right. Man, the other day, y'all, we had an explosion. I'm sitting there laying in the bed. It was like 9:30. It's about maybe 4 or 5 days ago. And it was so loud that I thought that, first I'm like, thunder? But it would sound too close, up close and personal. Plus, there was no follow-up. So I'm like, what kind of thunderbolt was that? Just one and done? Come to find out, guy down the street, somehow, I don't know what kind of fireworks this dude was working on, but he had some illegal fireworks and blew the whole house up. Killed himself. There's a 2-year-old that right now is in critical condition, a lady who's in critical condition. One lady was okay enough to drive to the hospital, but he died. And if you see this crib, I'm like, what? He had to have some dynamite or nitroglycerin. I'm sitting there like, what? The whole bottom of the house blew out. And I'm like, whoa, lucky I don't live next to him. But I thought maybe it was like a gas leak. I'm like, got to be a gas leak. And they're like, upon further investigation, this is a victim of illegal fireworks. And I'm going, the last I checked, we used to have like M80s, M50s. Yeah, you don't want to hold it in your hand. You might lose a finger or two. But something that could blow up your whole crib. Unbelievable. I'm still waiting to see what type of fireworks this dude had. But anyway, I got off topic, thinking about libs and houses and stuff like that. Anyway, now let's continue listening to this person. If they become anywhere close to some power, this is what they'll offer.
As a candidate, you're for illegal aliens getting Medicaid.
I think everyone in the world deserves
That's a
health
yes.
care.
That's a yes.
Now, see, it is a yes. Yeah, and she didn't want to say I'm for legal immigrants. She just said I believe everyone in the world. See, that's that. I just believe in good, positive things. Yeah, I want everyone to be taken care of. Yes, we all do. We all would prefer every human to have food, shelter, the water, money, clothing. We would love for that to happen. However, we have limited resources, so we have to prioritize. And we start with American citizens first. Unlike these Democrats who want to go ahead and open us up to the whole world. She's up there singing, I like to teach the world to sing. Yeah, that's what she is. So now let's continue. Scott sitting amongst all these crazy libs.
I'm such a
That's a
communist.
Democratic
It is a yes, but
Yeah.
It's a Democratic
Everyone in the
position.
world
Illegal
deserves
aliens should
healthcare.
get Medicaid.
But I mean,
How's it controversial?
But how is it controversial?
How is it controversial?
Okay, how's it controversial? Now, you see what they're doing. You see, you got to bust out their tactics. What they're trying to do is generalize it. Like, she's not specifically saying that she wants illegals to get, health care. She's saying, yeah, everybody in the world should get health care. That's all she's saying, Scott. But we know the specific question was about illegals getting health care in America. So now all they're jumping on board like, what's wrong with that? Everybody should be taken care of. Isn't that? Well, see, they know what he's talking about. And they know what they're trying to do. They're trying to disguise it because they are not bold enough to come straight out and say, we want illegals to stay here, become citizens, and get all the benefits of a citizen. We want that. So what they try to do is tiptoe around it, dodge it, act like, no, I'm not just specifically talking about illegal. I'm just saying everybody. You see the stinking tricks that they play?
They want me to die in the hospital because they can't afford
Who do
it.
you think pays for health care when undocumented people show up at a hospital?
Who
pays for that?
We all pay for it.
Thank you. Now you see Abby asked this dumb question. Who pays for that? You just like you threw Scott a nice, gentle pass. I was going, is she serious? Is she asking that question? You do know the answer to that, right? We pay for it.
We all pay for it.
They actually contribute.
Okay, here we go. They contribute. They contribute. How do you know that? If they're undocumented. How do you know they contribute if they're getting paid under the table? How do you know they contribute if they are sending their money back to Mexico or wherever they're from? How do you know? How do you know that they contribute when you show up and you find a whole bunch of them working illegally for a company that's trying to hide the fact that they got a whole bunch of illegal immigrants, so they make sure that they just say, here's $1,500 for you in cash, Felipe, $1,500 for you. So what are you talking about? They contribute. They also suck a whole bunch of resources out. But now they're just trying to pretend that, hey, you shouldn't judge these people and that they contribute to the healthcare system. They also jam it up too. Let's continue, man. Sorry, y'all. I'm feeling kind of good today. That's why I'm going to do 2 back-to-back shows. Here we go.
That's the point. We do realize that undocumented. Who pays for the welfare system in this country generally? Taxpayers.
Taxpayers. Now, see, they're talking over Scott. I want to say, because Scott's making sense. Whenever you start dropping that sense over all that nonsense, Scott, I want to change this up. I want to talk about, they're not fooling me. I can hear through all the chatter. I know what he's saying.
Everyone else, that there's no free lunch here, okay?
What?
For the welfare system in this country generally, taxpayers.
And perhaps everyone else, that there's no free lunch here, okay?
What? Apparently, she ain't been listening to the communist / Marxist / socialist Democrats that's been running around talking about ain't no free lunch. Man, they talking about that. We're going to study the possibility of reparations. Then we're going to make sure that all of our precious illegal immigrants all over the United States that we bust in get all type of benefits. Like what?
Oh, really?
Oh, well, look at this. Oh, $1.32 billion approved for what? Migrant aid? What? Affordable housing in Chicago? There's no free. I want one of those houses, y'all. I want one of those approvals, y'all. Why can't we get some of that stuff? But here she is. There's no free meals. What else? What else they getting? What else they getting? Yeah, play that soft music. That's right. California, spending $9.5 billion on health care for undocumented immigrants this year. That sounds like, a free ride right there. Because, today I went to go buy some meds and, they hit me for 40 something bucks. That's my copay. And I'm going, what am I taking? Geez, I might have to go with the home remedies, but nonetheless, nobody gave me that free healthcare card. It comes out of my check. But up there in, where's that, California? Not there. What else, y'all? Let's see. According to Abby. Oh, what's this? Undocumented migrants cost New York City $5 billion in 2 years. What? Costs, what is that? I can't read it backwards. Costs expected to double. By 2025. They gonna give them double for their trouble. No wonder they was in that little hearing yesterday defending all of these illegal immigrants and their horrible choices about all the money they've been given to support these illegal immigrants. These are traitors to our country. I mean, do you understand the levels that they are going through right now to save all of these illegal immigrants? This is their last hope. They're their only hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi. They put all of their eggs in that illegal immigrant basket and said, let's go ahead and stuff the country with them so that maybe we could change the voting dynamics. Because I'm going to tell you right now, we're not looking good. Our party's divided. It's crazy. It's disorganized. It's filled with nothing but soft-core guys, crazy, angry women, and weirdos. We're not looking good, guys. This is it. So we got to go pedal to the metal to stop Trump from deporting our little nest egg we built of legal immigrants. It's filled with them, So what's this? No free rides though, right?
According to your logic train,
Yes.
we need to let more illegal aliens into the country, give them more health care to keep all the hospitals.
Let me tell you what I'm saying.
Are you for it or not?
Let me tell you what I'm saying. Well, that's what you're saying. Yeah, because remember, illegal immigrants make us better, make us richer, make us everything. Anything you could come up with. That's smarter. The diversity makes us more. And I'm going, it sucks and dries out the whole system. It takes away from, the resources that Americans could have. That's what it does. And it also introduces a crime element to our streets. But y'all don't care about that. And these fools are part of the plan. See, they're the ones that come out and try to make it make sense. But see, I'm here to make sense out of this nonsense. Because that's what they're really doing. They're out here saying, all right, y'all go ahead. We got our minions. They got a nice little setup. We got our street minions. Then we got our raggedy politicians who are pushing this nonsense and letting it happen. And then we'll go ahead and have our advocates, our folks right here in the media to try to get up here and argue that these things are good things. They're good things. Hey, they're basically hitting us with the vampire in Brooklyn. See, if you didn't know evil, then you wouldn't know good. Therefore, evil is good. You see what I'm saying? Hey, say it with me, y'all. Evil is good. So that's what they're trying to do. But it doesn't work on us. Their Jedi mind tricks don't work on us. We see right through this garbage.
Start my logic train.
Are you for it or not?
My logic train starts with the fact that I don't want to.
You have no logic train.
11 million people off.
Do you want
Medicaid.
illegal aliens on or not?
Do I want first of all, do I want undocumented citizens to have?
See, now that's strike 1, 2, and 3. First of all, I want undocumented citizens to. You can't say it, can you? Yeah. It's like fire, coal in your mouth. I can't say it. I want undocumented citizens. I can't stand when they say that. See, so basically what these folks are advocating for is that we simply don't be a nation until they can reassure and assure that they have power forever. That's probably when they would finally say, all right, have we succumbed the American voting population with all of our immigrants we brought in? You're sure, right? Okay. So we got enough to secure our wins for the rest of ever, which would probably be about 4 or 5 years. Okay. So with that being said, now we'll pretend to shut the border. All right, we're full now. We're full. So if you leave it up to them, they would just say, man, that was the goal in the first place when they brought in 11 plus million under Biden, is to overwhelm the system, bring them in, make it hard to deport them, then use all of these crazy folks to disrupt things, use all this propaganda to make it seem like Trump's going out there like Gestapo and all of that. Use all of these things to either slow down getting them out of here or stop them or turn sentiment against Trump deporting these people. And eventually just wipe your hands and say, man, let them all stay. It's easier to do that than to deal with all of the chaos in the streets, all of the propaganda from the media, all of these accusations, and all of these judges trying to stop me. It's easier to just say, let them stay. Like Biden. No, let them go. Well, no, we're not doing it. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take it the hard way. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, no easy route here. We're willing to go ahead and do the hard thing.
Healthcare, the answer is yes.
Scott,
Okay.
if someone is
More
undocumented,
Democrats.
do you want them to
If we don't have avenues for people to come here legally to work or to build a home here, I'm going to be really crude right now. We're not going to have anybody around to wipe our ass because we don't have enough people in our country now to fill the jobs that we have right now.
Now, first of all, you hear that lie? But secondly, did you hear that potty mouth? Now, this is the odd thing about these Democrats. When they come out here and advocate for these illegal immigrants, they go back to their slavery roots. There it is. Our cheap labor helps our economy. That's why we need these slaves. I mean, who's going to wipe our butt? That's what that chick said right there. Who's going to wipe our ASSs? Unbelievable. Now, imagine a conservative saying that these the illegal immigrants here are here to wipe our ASSs. I can't believe how he just disrespected these people. It's obvious that they look at these people as a lower people. These aren't their equals. They're just slaves. They would have let a conservative have it, which they're going to try to do at the end of this show. See, but it backfired on them. But this woman straight came out and said, who's going to wipe our diptoirs, our butts? That's how they look at these illegal immigrants. But yet they're all precious. They're our neighbors. They're our friends. They're our family. They're our preachers and our teachers and all of this. They're also our butt wipers. Did they know that? Did they know the Democrats are looking at them as butt wipers, fruit pickers, cotton pickers, the pool cleaners, toilet scrubbers? Did they know that? Because that's not the American dream. I don't know about you. I wouldn't go all the way from Guatemala to get here to wipe her butt. But according to her, yeah, that's what it is. Who's going to wipe our butts? And the big lie that there's not enough Americans here to do it. Not enough Americans here to work the jobs that, so we are going to go ahead and bring in a slave labor. You know, very bit above slavery. We give them a small salary, some nickels and dimes here, just to say they're not 100% uncut, pure slaves. I mean, they're slaves, but with a stipend, So let's continue though. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Now y'all ready for this? Boy, I tell you, man, liberals leave evidence all over the internets for us to enjoy for ages, y'all. It goes to show how brainless they are. So y'all remember Killer Garcia? The man that they always talking about, the Maryland man, the Maryland father. Well, this liberal here heard the killer is back in the city and back in the country. And she was overwhelmed with joy and had the nerve to try to clown Trump.
What the? Did Aaron Parnas just report that Kilmar Abrego Garcia is coming home?
What? See, this is your brain on liberalism. You don't need the details. You're watching CNN, you just see the headline. Kilmar Garcia is being brought back to the United States after a judge rules. But they didn't tell them why. And they know their folks aren't going to dig. They're not going to see what's beneath the surface. They're going to jump in the pool without asking out there. Is there rocks or sharp things in there? Anything? No, they don't want to know that. They'll dive in head first. So here she is, y'all. Yeah, she got just the surface information because these fake networks didn't want people to know why Killer Garcia is being brought back to the country. So she got the nerve to try to say hurtful things and clown us, y'all. Look at her. She's so happy.
Donald hasn't had a win since November.
What? Are you kidding me? Because all we do is win. What is she talking about? We've been whooping tail since November, starting with beating all the Democrats at their own game, winning the election in spite of all of those shenanigans. But she said Donald ain't had a win since November, y'all.
Donald hasn't had a win since November.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, listen to her cussing at us.
Oh my God, and all the haters.
Should we tell her? Should we tell her, y'all? Or should we let her go ahead and have her fun only to get the pie to the face? So all the haters what? All the haters what?
That kept saying he's not coming home.
The Department of Justice has indicted the illegal alien terrorist from Maryland, the so-called Maryland man, who is actually a foreign terrorist from El Salvador, to make him face justice for his monstrous crimes against humanity.
Oh, so that's why he's coming home. Boy, these Dems done set Kilmar up for failure, y'all. failure. So let's continue.
Another huge win for the Trump administration.
Oh,
Thanks to
she said Donald ain't had a win, though, since November. She was up there rejoicing that Kilmar's coming back only to go to the guillotine. Basically, he's coming back for more trouble than he would be if he'd have stayed over there. So yeah, she's just celebrating him coming back right to the guillotine.
2 weeks of investigative work, this illegal alien monster is going to be held accountable for his terrible crimes against women and children. And then guess what, Sean? After he does hard time in American jail, guess where he's going? Right back to El Salvador.
Right back home. Not to Maryland, to his family and his kids as a Maryland man who's a part of the union and ain't did nothing and stuff like that. Nah, that's over. That's over. Kilmar's about to get double for his trouble. And that folk right there was talking about, look at that, though, boy, you guys are stupid.
Loser!
A loser! She's so happy, almost crying.
I'm so holy. I'm so happy.
She's so happy.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So what do? Do we let her go on delusional, thinking that this is a good thing? Because I'm pretty sure Kilmar like, don't be celebrating this. They're bringing me back for trouble. Yeah, but here she is. Oh my God, your daughter's a loser.
The resistance. I love it. Oh, we're in a good place.
One. Don't you feel dumb? 2. Look at you. 3. Don't you ever make no jokes about me behind my back, otherwise I stomp you in the ground.
Yes. Yes.
Hi, everybody. It's 4 o'clock in New York. We come on the air with breaking news.
What?
A federal grand jury has indicted Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Oh, hey, Nicole, you don't sound too happy to hear about this. You don't sound too excited that he's coming back. What do I sense a little melancholy in your tone? Hello, everyone. Breaking news. A court has indicted Kilmar Garcia. Where's all the glee? This is supposed to be his homecoming. Joel was running around like, woohoo, we need to bring him back. When is he coming? Had folks going all the way down there, putting a big spotlight on this dude. Big spotlight. Yeah, y'all tried to make him your champion for illegal immigration. And Trump did something beautiful. Let y'all act a fool. Let y'all prop him up. Bring all this attention to him. Run cover for him. Yeah, spend resources going down there to see him. Giving all these statements because you know what they was thinking. They were thinking that Trump's never going to bring this dude back. So all we got to do is just keep using the narrative that Trump took this Maryland man off the streets and deported him illegally down there. Now he won't bring him back. Just use it as a talking point. Yep. They never thought, though, that Trump would say, since y'all are trying to pretend that there's no evidence, this guy right here is just a Maryland man. Things haven't been proven. We don't know if he's really MS-13. We don't know all these things. Since y'all want to do that, give y'all some time to go ahead and, cycle that whole narrative out there. Yeah, we want all type of clips of y'all defending him. Yeah, we want all kind of clips of y'all talking about we're going down there for him. We want all of that evidence first before we bring it back, bring his butt back, and then prove to y'all that these are the type of people that the Democrats want in our country. These are the type of people they're willing to go to bat for in our country. Let's continue.
He's the Maryland man and Salvadoran national who was deported.
Oh, wait a minute. She's still trying to use that narrative. He's the Maryland man. You would think they would get tired of saying the Maryland man. How about you just call him the illegal immigrant, the Salvadorian national?
By the Trump administration in violation of a court order. He is now being charged with 2 counts, conspiracy to unlawfully transport illegal aliens for financial gains. And
your precious little Kilmar? No way.
Unlawful transportation of illegal aliens for financial gains.
Well,
the grand jury found that over the past 9 years...
Tell us, Pam Bon Bon. Tell us, 9 years. 9 years, y'all.
Abrego Garcia has played a significant role in an alien smuggling ring.
No
They
way.
found this was his full-time job,
Full-time.
not a contractor.
Full-time smuggler, not a contractor, not just a man who's a part of the union and he simply be doing his charity drives. He goes down and just, volunteers his hours to go ahead and pick up all of these other illegal immigrants and transport them to work. He's like a long-distance Uber. That's what he is. He's a long-distance Lyft driver.
He was a smuggler of humans and children and women.
Humans, children, and women. The two most vulnerable people in our society that every grown man should get mad. Soon as you hear that, whoa, women and children, what kind of animal is this? That's where I draw the line, man. You done crossed some lines. Women and children, huh? Such a nice guy. Maryland man that beats his wife, don't forget that too.
He made over 100 trips, the grand jury found.
Volunteer. Yeah, just doing his this reasonable service. All right, you guys need a ride? Sure, no, I'll just drive all the way down there. I'll just drive all the way down there and pick you guys up for no reason. No, am I getting money for this? No. No. I just want to make sure you guys get to work safely. And I'm willing to drive hundreds of miles to make it happen.
Smuggling people throughout our country.
Wow.
MS-13 members, violent gang, terrorist organization members throughout our country.
Democrats know how to pick them, don't they? They know just how to pick them. Did anybody do the background on this guy? No. Okay, I think maybe we should probably find out a little more about him. You know what? We don't want no Debbie Downers, okay? Now, we done picked this guy and we're going to run with it, okay? All the evidence be damned. And boy, look at this.
Thousands of illegal aliens were smuggled. This is especially disturbing because Abrego Garcia is also alleged with transporting minor children.
Oh, no, he didn't. Minor children, y'all. What a winner. I mean, isn't this the kind of guy you want in your country? Minor children. Boy, I'm wondering as the grand jury and this trial goes forth and all of this evidence comes out, I wonder if the Democrats are going to be waiting outside the courtroom for a word. Wonder if they're going to be going down there supporting him, sitting on his side inside the courtroom as the solidarity. We stand in solidarity as we find out that this man was transporting kids. Unbelievable, y'all. Somebody said Friday the 13th. Lucky I'm not snooper snitches. Be sitting here talking and y'all hearing. Y'all hear that? See, you got to know, whenever you hear the music, it's time to run. And if I was in a horror movie, I'd ruin it. Soon as I hear that Michael Myers, I'm like, oh, I'm out. For what, kid? You don't hear that. You don't hear that music. That's the scary music, man. Somebody's coming. Yeah. So let's continue, though, because somebody did come. A scary man came back to our country who was transporting underage children. Yeah, maybe that's where some of those 300,000 kids that Joe Biden lost went.
The defendant traded the innocence of minor children for profit.
For profit.
There are even more disturbing
More?
facts that the grand jury uncovered.
No.
It is alleged this defendant is part of the same smuggling ring responsible for the death of more than 50 migrants in 2021.
What? Now, see, we would have never known all of these wonderful things about Kilmar if the Democrats wouldn't have made him into a champion. They shined a big old spotlight on him, y'all. Oh, well, who is this Kilmar? Maybe we should look into him. Maybe we should go ahead and pull up some evidence. Yep. Thanks, Democrats. Oh, this is beautiful. I know he is furious with them. I mean, dang on it. If they would have just stopped at, all right, you know what, he has some gang affiliations, but we quite don't know about it. But they went overboard trying to defend this guy. And they forced us to now have to show everybody how foul this man is and how foul the Democrats in the media is for defending and protecting him.
After the tractor trailer overturned in Mexico.
Wow.
This is part of that same ring. The defendant abused undocumented alien females, according to co-conspirators.
Well, wait, what about women's rights and what about the Me Too and all of that? Kilmar is an evil actor, y'all. He's been in some shenanigans, man. This dude has been wreaking havoc. But he's just a Maryland man. A husband with 2 kids and stuff, 3 kids.
Who were under his control while transporting them throughout our country.
Well,
this defendant trafficked firearms and narcotics throughout our country on multiple occasions.
Wow. Right up the Democrats' alley, y'all. Yeah, man. The more the merrier. The worse the better. That's right, man. They sure know how to pick them, y'all. I guess they see some evil in these people like they see in themselves. That's right. He's pretty evil. Yeah, I like him. What do you think? Now, he's not quite as evil as us, but he's pretty evil. Let's take him. Let's pick this one. Let's continue.
They were using vehicles, SUVs, with added seats in the back, floors that had been ripped out, guns, narcotics, children, women, MS-13 members.
Boy, they are going to give it to this guy. They're going to give it to him, y'all. But the Democrats wanted this. And you know my song, baby, if you give it to me, I'll give it to you. I know what you want. You know I got it. They wanted it. You want it. Well, you got it. So we had to bust a move. Yeah, they was begging for him to come back. Y'all want him? Y'all want him? You want him? Here he is.
That is what the grand jury found. A co-conspirator alleged that the defendant solicited nude photographs and videos of a minor.
Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. Man, now you know how many Americans have been sent up the river for having a snapshot on their internets of a kid or a minor? Over. Soon as the feds come in on you, like we're confiscating your laptop. Well, wait a minute. That's from 1972. Doesn't matter. They're underage. Yeah, you're going down for a long time, buddy. But look at that. So this guy was into all of these shenanigans. I hope they throw the whole book at him. Because technically what we're doing is we're also trying the Democrats in the fake news during this trial coming up. Yep. Because see, they all put their stamp of approval on this guy. And this is going to be a wonderful a way to communicate to the rest of America that you see this guy right here and all of this stuff he was involved in. Your Democrats around the country wanted this guy to come back to our country. They downplayed it and called this guy just a Maryland man, a husband. He ain't do nothing, y'all. See, that's the modern day Democrats. These are the people who they love and champion. Did they ever come to see you out of country? I thought Kevin's down in El Salvador. We need to go check him. No, they would never do that.
A co-conspirator also alleges the defendant played a role in the murder of a rival gang member's mother.
Oh, snap. Now he murdering moms? He's a mama murderer? This man has crossed every line. Women, children, mamas. You don't mess with mamas, man. But wow. Good googly moo. He got a rap sheet so long, and yet the Democrats couldn't find any of that. They didn't do a background check on him before they decided to champion him. Just like they didn't do background checks on all of the millions of illegal immigrants they brought into our country. Just like Gilmore. Many of them just like him, if not worse. Now you see what we're working with. Now do you see the war we are in? If we lose, man, they're going to open up the floodgates. All of you can stay no matter what you guys have done. And then we'll go ahead and call you a criminal after you commit a real bad crime. We don't do the criminality check up front. No, that's for whenever you commit your crime. Then we go, oh, shoot, I guess they were criminals. Our fault. But don't demonize these people. Don't demonize them.
These facts demonstrate Abrego Garcia is a danger to our community.
What?
We want to thank the Department of Homeland Security,
good.
the FBI, our state and local partners, our acting U.S. Attorney Robert McGuire, and prosecutors from the Joint Task Force Vulcan.
And a special thanks for the Democrat Party for bringing this all to surface, bringing this all to light. Yeah, you guys put Kilmar right in the fishbowl so we can all observe him. All observing. Great job, Dems. Great jobs. And we let you do it. Let you do it for about 3 weeks straight, whining and complaining about this guy. Okay, you like him that much, you love him. You say you want us to bring him back. You want us to bring him back there, boy? Well, here he comes.
Attorney General, the traffic stop that we've seen video of from Tennessee, where Abrego Garcia was first identified by the local authorities. At the time, the Homeland Security Department declined to take custody of him. What has happened in between that time and in between the time that the government has been arguing that he was not returnable from El Salvador? What has happened since?
Yeah, tell us,
in this investigation? That
I think I can answer this one. Trump. That's what happened. Yeah. Do you think they would have discovered all of this stuff under Biden if he would have won? Or what about under dang on Kamala Harris? Now, look at all of these evil folks ICE has been taking away. They've been going out there and telling us all of the stuff that these people are involved in. Understand, guys, if Kamala Harris would have won, these people would still be running around our country. They would never be investigated. They would never be looked into. This is how dangerous the Democrats have put our country in. This is the danger they put us all in. And we know that they would never do what Trump is doing right now. So all of these people, in spite of when they arrest them, they go ahead and they read all of these things that these people are done. All right, this guy right here did this guy right here. Do you think they would have spent the resources and the time and the effort to do investigations and go get these people out of our country? Nope. They would have allowed these folks to live in our country, committing all these type of crimes until they do something so foul that everybody got to go, oh, well, yeah, that guy, he needs to go. But it's too late then. But this is how much they hate our country and love themselves. They love themselves that much where they said, we'll put everybody in danger, long as we can have our way. That's why they're so foul and stinking. That party needs to be destroyed.
Yes, the question was in 2021, there was the traffic stop. And what has changed since then? What has changed is Donald Trump is now president of the United States and our borders are again secure. And thanks to the bright light that has been shined on Abrego Garcia, this investigation continued.
The bright light. Bright lights. Thank you, Democrats. Yeah. Y'all wanted everybody to take a look at the Maryland man. Well, now we see what that Maryland man is all about. And so do y'all. So now you got to go ahead and try to change it up. We wasn't supporting it. I mean, it wasn't like really about him though. It was more so like, it's the process.
With actually amazing police work. And we were able to track this case and stop this international smuggling ring from continuing.
She especially focused on the idea that Democrats defended Kilmar Abrego Garcia, even though he, of course, is alleged to have committed these crimes. Mm-hmm. Do you think
Redskin, y'all ready? See, this is the pickle that they put themselves in. These are the boxes that they put themselves in. Democrats are the dumbest politicians on the globe. They don't see the danger. I'll be sitting there sometimes like, man, at some point you get tired of seeing, that your enemy just keep getting beat. You ever watch like the Cleveland Browns? I know we probably got some Browns fans. I mean, they were losing so much to where I was like, man, look, let them get one win or something, man. They just stink. It's to the point where they do some of the dumbest things where you're going, y'all don't see that. I mean, y'all aren't smart enough to see the obvious trap you're walking into. You already know. More than half the country is saying, get these people out of here. You already know that. You already know that Trump is going to get them out of there. And you already know, if you put your stamp of approval on this guy who was sending all the red flags that I'm a bad actor, and they ignored him, they have no good political instinct whatsoever. They're evil as heck, but their political instinct sucks. But when you put yourself in a position where you've invested all of this time and energy in this act right here of bringing these illegal immigrants in, then you got to just do stupid stuff. But you couldn't find somebody with a little better background. You couldn't find somebody that maybe would garner some sympathy from some folks that, are in the middle where they go, well, heck, this person they ain't do nothing. They was just working at Home Depot and it's kind of sad. I mean, look at them, they're crying and all. Y'all go pick this fool. And I'm okay with them. I want them to dumb themselves to death. That's what I want. I want them to dumb themselves to death. Let's continue.
Democrats risk politically playing into the president's hands by focusing on this case?
First of all, I don't know of a single Democrat who defended him.
What?
He was falsely arrested and removed from the country. So now they're making up all this stuff about MS-13. Or, let's say he was
making it up. Making it up. You see, rat skin, they give us so many wonderful sound bites of hypocrisy and foolishness. Yeah, that guy, they're making it up about him being involved in MS-13.
Responsible for the January 6th attack, and he coordinated the assault on 140 police officers. They're making up things against a guy who's never been prosecuted, much less convicted of anything.
Yes! Say more, rat skin. Because see, that right there, this little montage right there that just shows how foolish that fool is, it's going to be worse when all the details come out. See, it's going to go from this clip right here. You're going to add one more montage to that right there. Yeah, the montage of the killer Garcia is found guilty on all 13 counts. The count one. Yeah, go down that big fat list of all those things while you see this fool. They're making stuff up. This guy's never even been charged for anything. He's a good guy. He's a great guy. Yeah, I want to see that montage. That's going to be the finality of that montage. That's what's coming, rat skin. So you better brace for it.
He, of course, is alleged to have committed these crimes. Do you think that Democrats risk politically playing into the president's hands by focusing on this case?
Of course, they always do. Just like they're doing right now with all of these coordinated riots that they are, having all around the country. Pretending that there's because of Donald Trump and his rhetoric that's making these people do this. All of it is going to backfire on them. People do not like these type of shenanigans. Yeah. Y'all are unleashing these fools on society. And society is going, we don't want this mess. Now, we done spoke. We want these folks gone. Y'all out here encouraging this mess, shenanigans. Let's continue, though.
First of all, I don't know of a single Democrat who defended him specifically against any crimes because he wasn't charged with any crimes. He doesn't have any criminal history, to my knowledge, or a criminal record.
Yeah, but you didn't bother to check. You didn't want to even use some common sense, rat skin. None of y'all. Y'all even defended the tattoos on their knuckles because Trump simply put the letters MS-13 up there. And they weren't originally, they're not really on his knuckles. They just represent what those tattoos mean. But Trump's lying, he's making that up. So with all of that evidence, including the wife talking about how dangerous this dude was, they still carried on. Those are allegations. There's no evidence.
And there were no charges outstanding when he got unceremoniously picked up and flown out of the country. I mean, that's called a disappearance. That's what happens in
That's what that's called, a disappearance. No, it's called him being taken back to his crib. That's what that's called. A disappearance. We knew where he was at. He didn't vanish. What are you talking about? Y'all with the over-the-top illustrations and I think it's called disappearing these people. Let's come up with that. That'll be our new term. No, we know exactly where he was. Where was he going to go? Hey, we want to make sure he's still down here and say, he's there at that Supermax wonderful prison.
In societies, they obviously want to make this about whether or not he ends up being a good guy or a bad guy, but it's not a...
No. Y'all wanted to make that out of it. Whether he was a good guy or a bad guy. When everybody was trying to tell you, that's a bad hombre. There's no evidence. He's never been charged with nothing. No political instinct. No common sense. Nothing made you go, maybe we should pull back on this dude. We're going heavy on the killer Garcia.
But question. It's a legal question. It's a constitutional question of whether the government can pick people up and take them out of the country. And I think the Supreme Court has been fairly emphatic about this. Due process is for everybody. Sometimes I hear my MAGA colleagues say, you're for due process for guilty people? Well, yeah, because we don't know if they're guilty or they're innocent until we've had due process.
Now you see him backtracking, trying to go ahead and bring in the secondary argument of why these fools hitched their wagon to this evil man. Now it's all about due process and well, first of all, these are illegal immigrants that don't have the same due process rights and process that we have as American citizens. Their due process is very short and sweet. Do you belong in the country? And is your argument of why you should have some type of amnesty or some type of asylum, does it meet the criteria of asylum? What? You check the box for coming for a better life? Oh, I'm sorry, that's not on the box. That's not in the thing. That doesn't fly. What? Climate change? I'm sorry. You gotta go. Oh, and immediately, by the way. Immediately. See, we don't want to do like the Biden and them was all doing. But you know what? You really should go back home, but while you wait, it's your own time. Just meander about the country as long as you want. Get lost in the shuffle. Never show up to be deported. You think they're going to come back and self-deport under Biden when they knew the Democrats were doing everything they could to keep every single illegal immigrant here, whether they were criminals or not? They felt very content. Like, man, dude, when I walk out of this hearing right here, I'm going right back to my job, get a work permit, and still remain in the country. Until Trump showed up, y'all.
That's the whole point of due process.
Mistakenly deported a Maryland father with protected legal status.
Yeah.
To this horrific prison in El Salvador.
The Maryland
that he all 100% deserved to be in. 100% deserved to be in. I'm okay with the tax dollars to bring this fool back, to expose these raggedy behind politicians, these Democrats in the fake news. Yeah, I'll eat that cost. That was worth the show. I'll pay for that ticket.
Married to a U.S. citizen who has a 5-year-old son with autism.
Yeah, all of that. His son has rickets. His son right there has a lazy eye. You know what? All of this garbage. They're advocates. They are like lawyers for this guy. They have put their butts in a nice pickle. And I love it. We need every bit of evidence to show just how corrupt these folks are that we can get.
Garcia was abducted. He is a father. He is a husband.
He's a potential murderer. He's a trafficker. He's a gun toter. You forgot all those things too. Wife beater.
A union member.
Video. You all are completely downplaying what we know. We know plenty about this person. What? We know that he lived in the country illegally for 14 years. I know it's okay with you.
I said that.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. And he would have been here another 14 years. That man would have retired in America. I'm too old to be a gangster and a killer. I'm going to retire from being a criminal in America. I'm 65. I put my years of criminality in, and I'm going to call it quits. Have a big celebration for him. Retirement party. Kill more Garcia. Yeah, long life of crime in America. Only to retire at 65 from trafficking and all of the other things. Yeah, they were going to let that dude retire in the country. But thank God we won.
We know. We know.
No.
We know.
No.
That is not okay with me, but that's not. But that's not a. But that is literally.
First of all, we all know.
Here comes the fool with the salmon-colored jacket. What are you doing on there? You're making me want to go ahead and take a bite. I'm looking like, is that salmon? Is that salmon color or is it pink? It's probably more so pink for this dude.
The Supreme Court knows that is not a crime.
To live in the country illegally?
That's not a crime.
Now, do you see? These are the excuses and the stupid things that the left makes. They keep all circulating this narrative that it's not a crime to come in the country illegally. Do you understand the crap storm that you would have? Well, we saw the crap storm we have when you tell the whole world that it is not a crime for you to enter our country illegally. Do you understand how stupid that sounds? Just to say it out loud makes me mad when I hear these people talk about it. It's not a crime to enter our country illegally. Are you kidding me? Do you understand the message, the bullhorn that sends to everybody? Try telling somebody it's not a crime to go into a bank vault and just take money for a better life. It's not a crime. Do you think people would say, well, I'm going to go ahead and fall back on my own moral character and just say, no, I'm not going to do it. Even though the door's open and all of that money's in there and they told me it's not a crime, I probably could go in there, steal all the money and get away with it. Because I got politicians and folks on the news telling us, don't worry about it. It's not a crime. But I'm not going to do it. Or would the majority of people say, well, hey, so wait, you telling me I can go in there, take this money, and y'all gonna go ahead and defend me talking about it's not a crime to go in there and just take the money. Yeah, you're just a undocumented withdrawer. That's all you are. It's a misdemeanor. People will be like, yo, if I come out with a couple million and I just got a misdemeanor on my, I'll take that. So these are fools. These are Marxists that are okay with destabilizing our whole country by allowing all of these folks to come in and lie to these people and Americans by telling everybody it's not a crime to enter the country illegally. What other country operates like that? What other dumb country is out here saying it's not a crime? None of these people would say, you know what, if some stranger walked into my crib, breaking and entering, I'm not going to deem this person to be a criminal. I'm going to argue on their behalf when the cops come and drag them out of my crib. I'm going to be like, hey, easy on them. It's not a crime to enter my house unlawfully and start taking resources. It's not a crime. You start saying that, everybody will be going into these people's houses. Yeah, for a better life. So now this fool, once again, comes with the dumb argument. It's not a crime.
The status of it. Stop telling people stuff that's not true.
And you're telling people stuff that's not true. It is a crime to come into our freaking country illegally.
I am just, my mind is so...
Thank you, Scott. That's exactly how I feel all the time. Every day when I watch this nonsense and I see these fools, I'm like, blows my mind. I can't believe how dumb these people are. I can't believe how evil these people are. You're sitting back lying to your dwindling audience and got them thinking, what, that's not a crime? Why is Trump deporting all these people? And why is everybody making such a big deal out of it?
Go ahead and finish. By the last 2 nights,
Scott, it's not a criminal offense.
Bakari, can we give Scott?
So he's been in the country illegally 14 years. That's number one. We also know what his wife told the courts and law enforcement about him. Yeah. That he was violent, that he beat her,
He's not being charged.
that he was. So you said we don't know if he's a bad guy.
We don't.
I trust his wife. When she runs off and says, "Please protect me from
What
this
if his
man."
wife's
We don't. Now all of a sudden, I thought they believed the woman.
said this man's great?
And
We wouldn't trust him.
So what if the wife said? So now all of a sudden we're not believing the victim. We're not believing the woman. Yeah, after his wife said that out of her own mouth, we don't. That's what that dummy just said right out there. That we all know that he did beat his wife. We don't. Well then, was she lying? Huh? Was she lying? Was she lying then? Or is she lying now when she's talking about, I just want my husband to come home. That's all I want. Is she lying now? Or is she lying then?
That's insane.
You're acting like we don't know things. We
Prosecute
do know things. We
Prosecute
know.
him.
And
that's exactly how they conduct these shows every single day. As we're going to see tonight at 6 when I do my second live stream. That's right. Yeah, they're out here telling us things that we know to be true. Things that we are seeing with our own eyeballs. And they are bold enough to come out and say, that's not true. We don't.
Prosecute. At a minimum, what we know should be more than enough for anybody at this table to say, yes, please get him the hell out.
Let me ask you this. Do you think
See all
they
these
charged him to try to save face? Yes or no? Honestly,
I think they charged him because he committed
Now this fool, charging him, now see, he's misinterpreting the chess move that the Trump administration did. He thinks that we're charging this guy to save face. You see how dumb these folks are? They don't see the traps. I'm saying y'all don't realize Trump is like 5 steps ahead of y'all. So he thinks that they were like, oh shoot, we're getting a lot of bad press about deporting this Maryland man against his due process. That's the big problem. So we better bring him back here and charge him to save face. No, we brought him back here to charge him so we can give y'all the face. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, if it wasn't for that, we could have left him down there. We already knew he was evil. We want the rest of America to know just how evil he was and how much you guys defended this evil person. So the next evil person that we deport, y'all would think twice. Maybe you shut your mouths and let us get these evil people out the country. Because folks won't believe y'all. The next time y'all talk about that, now this the other guy was evil. But this guy, he's not evil. In spite of this guy's suspected of doing A, B, C, and D. So we did this so we could give y'all the face. This guy thinks they did it because they was trying to save face. No, total misinterpretation.
To try to save face, yes or no? I think they charged him because he committed serious crimes, apparently. Scott, that's why they charged him.
And we want the world to know those serious crimes. We don't want to leave it ambiguous. You know, people are like, well, we still don't really know if this guy was, no, we want to make sure we drive it home. Yeah, enough speculation, enough debate about Killer Garcia. We want it to be on the books so that this way, as time goes on, y'all won't be able to go back to that and say, remember back when Trump deported the Maryland man? Take away that argument 100%.
We agree on this. He should be prosecuted for domestic violence. He should be prosecuted for every crime he committed. And when he's found guilty, he should be deported.
I think he should be deported anyway.
Thank you. See, that's the difference between you dummies and us. We're going, we didn't even need to get all of this information about this guy to feel like he needs to be gone. And the sad part about this is every single illegal immigrant needs to be deported, just not to El Salvador. He just happened to have a special case because we knew he was an evil hombre. But he's no different when it comes down to breaking our laws as anybody else. Any of the folks that came, even I know some of these people were duped by the Biden administration. They were encouraged. They heard the bullhorn. Come on, search. They got to search the border. They hear all these fools. And the reason we're dealing with this now is because of those fools that sent out that big bullhorn, the announcement, come on. Now they're here. And unfortunately, y'all invested money, time, resources, risked your life and all of that, only to be hit with the reality that you can't do that. Evil people made you think you could. Yeah, for their own evil purpose, they don't care about you. They're not worried about you guys having a better life. They really aren't. So unfortunately, we're going to do you one better. Yeah, if you want to go back home, we'll go ahead, fly you back home on our expense and give you some money. Yeah, there you go. That right there will maybe cushion the blow of you feeling like you've been deceived by the Democrat Party and all of their minions. But hey, if you don't want to take it, you don't want to take that, you can go the hard way with nothing. Let's continue.
Regardless of this other stuff. That may be the only issue that ever really mattered was that he was in the country illegally.
Does the Constitution work or not?
Constitution work or not? Do our border laws work or not? That's my question. I mean, do we have a border or not, you big softcore dude with that pink on? That's my real question. Either we have immigration laws or not. And just to make it special, I want the Republicans right now, they need to do this quickly. They need to go ahead and redefine the law in regards to coming across our border. Take away this whole talking point that it's just a civil, no, write it out. I want it plain and clear. If you are an illegal immigrant that comes across our borders, you have broken the law. It is a felony and you will be deported immediately. We need to go ahead and stop playing around with this and make it plain and simple, even though we all know what it is. But these folks like to dibble and dabble, and I need the Republicans to step it up. Codify some things. Get some bills and some laws out there that will shut up a lot of this debate. I mean, doesn't Congress write laws?
Well, now we're bringing it into where the Justice Department is being used for political reasons, and that shouldn't happen.
We're gonna hit pause on this conversation.
Yeah, I bet you are.
But look, I mean, you're right. He had he was in the proceedings, and the proceedings were determining where he could go. They sent him to the wrong place.
No, they sent him to the right place. That was his house. That was his home. Yes, man, La Casa. Sent it back to La Casa. So, and La Casa's been cleaned up. He didn't even go back to a raggedy shack like it was before that wonderful president took over El Salvador. He went back to a wonderful place now that has a special place for people like him.
The judge just said bring him back so that he can finish that process.
That's all
to the right place.
That's all this is. Now they're downplaying it. Now, they would have wanted this dude to come back and continue living his raggedy, evil, corrupt, criminal life in America for all they care. If he could have came back here and bypassed these criminal charges and the whatever judge immigration judge would have gave him the right to stay, they would have loved it. They'd have been like, that's right, let him stay. Forget the fact that all of these rumors out there about his criminality was floating. They wouldn't care. Yeah, we'll worry about that when he actually kills somebody.
The administration could have done this 2.5 months ago. They didn't. And it is perplexing. Now we have charges. We'll see what happens to the charges.
Yes,
with the charges. In this country, whether you're legal or illegal, you're innocent until proven guilty. We'll let this play out. We'll continue to follow.
Well, unless you came across the border illegally, that's kind of self-explanatory. Wait, where are you from again? Mexico. Oh, so now where are you now? In America. Well, then that's obvious. If you're here and you're from there and you shouldn't be here, then you've broken our laws. I think this is a closed and shut case, Johnson. There you go. Or I wouldn't be seeing you right here. My eyes aren't lying to me. You're standing on our property. So therefore, how'd you get here? So get out of here. So let's continue, though.
Big mistake, big blunder by his lawyers. His lawyers never, ever should have tried to bring him back to the United States. They should have filed a motion having him transferred from El Salvador or Nicaragua, where maybe there was some...
No, but see, that's not good enough, because, see, he would still be deported. Yeah, they wanted to use the talking point that they were sending these wonderful woodland creatures, gentle woodland creatures, out of our country who didn't do nothing. Hardworking, union, Maryland man with 3 kids. Loves his wife. That's what they wanted. See, but now what they're going to get is the truth about this dude. And instead of just saying, all right, look, we ain't going to bring you back here because you could be facing some serious charges. So how about we just send you to some other country where you can live your life free? You can live your life free. Instead of doing that, no, we need you as a pawn. We need you for a talking point. Yeah, it's no good for us to say, send you somewhere else. Yeah, what make Trump look evil is that he won't bring you back here. See, you see, it doesn't work for us if you're there. We need you back here.
Here to another place, say Argentina or Brazil. He might be a free man today if they had done that. Remember that.
But he was a pawn. Yeah, for the Democrats. He was a chess piece that they lost. This chess piece got taken.
He was ordered deported. The only flaw in the order was where he was sent, not whether he was sent. And so I think he may spend a long time in prison. If he's found guilty, he's presumed innocent. But if he's found guilty, he's going to spend a long time in prison complaining about his ideological, radical lawyers who made a hero out of him and try to get him back to the United States when that was...
Yep. They got Pookie killed, man. Yeah, got to go straight New Jack City. They got Kilmar killed, y'all. This dude could have been somewhere like, honey, I'm down in Nicaragua. I'm a free man. Somehow I managed to beat all the real charges that I had when I was in America. So pack up the kids and come down here. But nope, we want him back here. You want him? You got him.
It's not in his own self-interest. So lawyers made the most fundamental mistake a lawyer can make, putting ideology before the best interest of the client.
Like the Democrats always do. Putting ideology before the best interest of Americans. We're supposed to be the clients for all of these politicians. But they're working on behalf of other people. They're working on behalf of people like him. There you go. That's their client. So let's continue, y'all, because guess what, y'all? We're going to end with another Democrat hoax. I've been meaning to talk about this one. But it's been slipping through the cracks because all the other stupid stuff that's going on. So now, they've been sending in all of these fake behind, people to these meetings that Republicans have I guess their monthly meetings, public meetings where they talk about what's going on. And they've been sending these very radical people into these meetings to interrupt and to heckle and to, be combative with all the Republicans. And it's obvious that these people are not Republican voters, but they've been pretending that they are Republican voters that are disgruntled and mad. And they're just there to get sound bites, sow chaos, and create the perception that, the Republicans are regretting their votes. When in reality, when you hear some of these people's arguments and behaviors, these are the behaviors and arguments of the radical left. So they managed to show up at a town hall meeting and agitate one of the Republicans. And she said something, y'all, and the media went ahead and went out and made a big to-do about it. So let's go ahead and check it out. Here we go. Oh, another.
These are troubling times in the United States of America. Many Americans, including me, have great concerns about the direction that our president is taking, our federal government is taking.
No, not me. I'm good. I'm liking the direction that our country is going in. I was really scared when we had a dude sleep at the wheel driving. Yeah, you don't know where you're going to end up when the driver is Joe Biden. What? You know what? I'm looking at there's that chocolate chip. I'm going to pull over and get some chocolate chip. Sir, we're supposed to be going here. You know what? Uncle Finnegan said that, no, I don't want that guy driving nothing. Okay? He was driving us off a cliff. So what is this dude talking about? I'm concerned about that. Now, they're pretending, though, to be Republicans, y'all.
Right now, we clearly have, and this is already in place, we clearly have a president who is destroying the federal government.
Now, you hear that? See, now, do you really believe this person in her district is going to have all of these people in there? No Republicans? None of them? Okay, she is a Republican, you know. So now all of these folks pretending that they're Republicans. And they're all, yes.
To serve his own purposes. Now he is
to serve his own purposes. Yeah, these are the stupid things that come out of liberals. All you got to do is stop for 1 second and say, okay, what purposes are you referring to? I mean, usually people would have one of two motives to be evil. One, money. Two, power. Trump, he got all the money he needs, and with money comes power. He had more influence when he was just Trump the billionaire and was lacing the pockets of a lot of these raggedy politicians who loved him then, who was quick to take donations from Trump. Yeah. But now all of a sudden, this man who went through all this hell for his own purposes, what is it? What's in it for him? Besides making the country great again. But these fools just throw that out there, and I'm going, so please follow up with a rational explanation of what Trump's motive could be. What is his own purpose? It's crazy to hear them talk, this throwing stuff out there.
For the government. And he's been very clear about it. He's been good about it. In 4 months, he's made it into a dictatorship.
Oh, God. Language of liberals. That is liberal language. Liberal ideas and thoughts. Scripted statements. He turned it into a dictatorship. These folks wouldn't know what a dictatorship was if it bit them. But yet he turned it into a dictatorship. Okay, so Trump just came out and they asked him about if he's a king or whatever. He said, if I was a king, all of this crap that I got to go through, I wouldn't have to go through it. This is the big fat gaping hole in their arguments. They are not even smart enough to realize by labeling him a dictator, and yet they turned our country to a dictatorship, there should be evidence of that. We shouldn't be hearing the fake news every single night. Coming out here talking about Trump is done it again. He's a white supremacist. Trump is a racist. Trump, we wouldn't have to worry about all these stinking lower level judges stopping him deporting all these people. Why tolerate that? Do you think King Louis would have tolerated all of that? Do you think King Longshanks, from Braveheart, who was my favorite of all, walked up those steps? What news of York? And his son brought his little lover, Philip. He said, we will stop him, sire. Who is this who speaks to me as if I needed his opinion? This is Philip, father. I've made him my high counsel. Is he qualified? Yes, I am skilled in military tactics. And he threw Philip's butt right out that window. You think he wanted to hear what Philip had to say? Threw him out that window and then beat his son up and said, now who should I send to this barbarian? Surely not my gentle son. The mere sight of him would only encourage an enemy to take over the whole country. Yeah, man. Longshanks wasn't no joke. Now you think Longy would have been dealing with all these stupid Dems, all of these dang on judges and the fake news? Long Shanks would have threw them all out the window. But yet Trump's a dictator. He's a dictator, y'all.
But this has been like a Nazi blitzkrieg, and you folks...
Liberal language. Nazi blitzkrieg. Do you think any Republicans are up in that bad boy? That this is like a Nazi blitzkrieg, that he's a dictator. But yet they're telling us, look at these people, these are all Republicans.
Have sat and done nothing.
Obviously, I don't agree because I don't think our country is being destroyed. On the other hand, I see that our country is being with the federal government, and because I've worked on these squeal issues for so long, I'm not squealing, ma'am. Now, I do believe that
liberal behavior. Republicans have decency and order. Kind of like, you know, that congressman out there in, I don't know if it was in California, but we'll be talking about his butt tonight. The guy got his butt arrested yesterday because he wanted to just go ahead and barge right into the middle of a press conference, interrupt it without identifying himself, and talk about, I got a question, I got it. And when they drug him out there and put his butt in cuffs, now he's the victim. Yeah, that's the behavior of an agitator, a disruptor. See, this is the type of stuff that they do. We sit and say, well, I'll wait till the person stops speaking, and then I'll ask my question. I'll follow the protocol. There's a way that society is structured. You don't just barge in and start throwing questions out there. So now all of these people, already know off grid. Those are not conservatives at all.
having a president that I can actually have a conversation with on the phone and having a seat at the table.
Now you hear all that? Do you think that conservatives who despise Joe Biden would be upset at that comment? That's a fact. They would have been like, darn right, that guy was blew out. So now you're telling me all these conservatives in there are now mad at an absolute fact about Joe Biden? Yeah, they're all, no, he was fine. You can't talk about him like that. We all knew he was blew out. So you know, these people that's out here in these cities tearing them up are paid agitators. All of them. Nothing about the left is real. It is all acting. It is all theatrics.
I couldn't do that with President Biden, folks. I couldn't do that with President Biden. Where was he? No, he was not. He was not present.
He was present. So these are conservatives? Now they just became dumb? Notice you really rarely see a conservative become a Democrat. A Republican become a Democrat. You see a lot of Democrats become Republicans. But once you're a Republican, you don't want to go back to dumbness. You don't want to regress. You know, I mean, man walks up on 2 legs. Yeah, you don't want to go back to 4. Yeah, you're sitting there like, oh, you know what? It's pretty cool walking on 2 legs, but you know what I kind of miss? Walking around on all 4 with our knuckles. There you go. Even though I don't believe in evolution, but you know, great analogy. You don't go backwards. I want to hang out with the monkeys and the knuckles and stuff like that. Yeah, no, you're already upright. Don't go backwards. They should be wanting to come where you are. So you never see groups of people who were conservatives now all of a sudden supporting Joe Biden in this. You know they're Democrats.
He was not mentally capable of controlling.
Look at him. Yeah, these are all Republicans, y'all. Dog, come on, you crazy. Joe Biden's fine. He was fine. Then why'd you vote for Trump? If that's the case, why didn't you just vote for Joe? So you know these are Democrats. Mad at that statement.
I saw it all the time.
Yeah, we did.
People closest to him will acknowledge now. So we are $36 trillion in debt. Now both.
Look at them. Yeah. Now you notice it's a Democrat audience because they don't want to hear facts. They don't want to hear stuff. We already know just how they protest. No matter what the discussion is, they don't show up to learn, to get information, to synthesize it, to process it, to come to real rational conclusions. They come there to as soon as you open your mouth and say whatever. What about? Yeah, we see this manifested in them in all areas. You show up on the streets, you see one of them, go up to them, why are you here protesting? I'm here because our rights are being roped back. Like, which ones? You know what, get out of here. We don't want to hear from you. Because you don't want to have a discussion. You don't want to hear an alternative view. Yeah, and you're not used to getting actual facts and logic because you don't require that to make your decisions. You're an emotional, voter, and you're there just to boo, hiss, and make noise.
Both sides have contributed.
She's more patient than me.
But when does it end?
Oh, because here we go.
When does it end? So we do have to, and that's why Doge is so important. The things that were not spelled out, the things that were...
Now, see what's happening? They're getting under her skin a little bit. See? By now, she knows that these are agitators. She's like, man, these are a bunch of liberals that probably got an email. Show up at the town hall meeting and here's some questions that you can ask her, some things you can say, and make sure a lot of booing goes on. So now you see her kind of getting a little frustrated. She's way more patient than me because I would have been like, you know what? Kiss my grits. So now she's getting a little impatient and getting mad because of all the stupid questions. And she goes on and says something that any smart person would know the context, but not the Democrats.
The things that were not spelled out into the Constitution were delegated under the 10th Amendment to the states.
What's that? We don't care about that.
So what we're seeing in federal government is the right sizing of the federal government and allowing the states to take up the role that our forefathers intended.
We hate those. We hate those forefathers, the imperialistic, fascist, racist, white supremacists, xenophobe, homophobe, KKK members and stuff. Yeah, those colonizers. We hate them. So we don't care what you're talking about with all of your fancy big words and stuff, talking about the Constitution and this and that. That means nothing to us.
Okay, does everybody agree that we should borrow money from China to send it to China?
Yep. We want to be a communist country too.
Wow. Okay, you guys, wow.
Wow. Now you see it. She's recognizing that these are not conservatives. I mean, these are things that get up under our skin as soon as you mention China. We like, drop that COVID on us. The bad trade deals, espionage, intellectual property theft, all of that. So we would not be in that audience going, we'd be going, darn right. So let's continue though.
Oh my goodness.
You're acting like you're living in a whole different universe. See, liberals. Now you hear her? She's like, oh my goodness. See, they don't realize how we view them. These are like some primitive thinking people. They don't realize how dumb, immature, and just mentally brainwashed that they are. When we see it, we're just going, oh my goodness, these people are unbelievable. They don't realize they are full-blown, useful idiots. Their responses, the things they say, makes you just throw your hands up and go, oh my goodness. Man, never mind. Let me go ahead and talk to somebody who got some sense. So here we go, because somebody in that crowd is going to ask a stupid question or throw out a statement.
Okay. Well, anyway, okay.
She's like, okay.
This is not a productive conversation.
Yeah, because you can't have that with liberals. No, you can't have no productive conversation. They ain't there for that.
Anyway, now we know that there are billions of dollars that are overpaid in Medicaid every single year.
What that got to do with us?
If we can take those dollars and redirect them to those that
to illegal immigrants. See, that's liberal logic. See, now here she is saying something that all Republicans, if they were in that crowd, would be going, darn right. But listen to these people.
Need those, then we will do much better. We will do much better.
And you know what makes this obvious that these are liberals? Because everything she's saying, these people are booing. If you were a conservative, even if you disagree with maybe one thing, there would be multiple other things that you go, now I feel that. You would not just suddenly despise every conservative Republican either policy, idea, or whatever. You wouldn't do that. You know, you might say, man, I just got a problem with like one thing, you know. But these people, everything that any conservative would be going, yeah, everything she's saying, nah, and I'm going, nah, man, we know that y'all are Democrats because y'all have that whole, whatever Trump says or whatever the right does or says, we just got to immediately, reflexively disagree with it, boo it, shut it down. Yeah, so.
Thank you.
Here we go.
You want to take that money and route it to people who make billions of dollars, who have more money than anybody in this room together?
Listen, here we go. Here we go. There you go. That's another talking point of the fascists, the Marxists. You want to take that money and reroute it to the billionaires and millions. They don't even realize how much they're getting played by millionaires and billionaires as they go out and do the bidding of rich, powerful people who got an interest in making sure that they influence these useful idiots. You don't think Soros is involved in all of this stupidity, using these people like puppets? But nonetheless, it's always going back to the billionaires and trillionaires and so we should just spend all this money on illegal immigrants and folks that shouldn't be on Medicaid and all that?
It's absolutely absurd.
Yeah, those are all Republicans, y'all.
Well, I would say, Jen, that no, we're not going to cut those benefits for those children.
How many times we got to say that to y'all? But it's always, you're going to cut it for kids and the grandmothers and stuff. So once again, this lady is way more patient than me. She's like, yo, we're not cutting, how many times we got to say it? We're not cutting the money from the children. And watch what somebody says.
So, no, what we are doing is making sure that those that are not Medicaid eligible are not receiving benefits.
Thank you. But they don't care about that. Just spin, spin, spin. All we do is spin, 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 spin. We don't care. We don't care about Doge finding all of these wasteful spending and all of that stuff. We don't care about that. Liberals, we just take, spin, 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 and destroy, destroy, destroy. Yeah, that's what they are. We don't want to be responsible when it comes down. You would the worst thing you can do is hire a radical liberal to do your books, to be your CFO of your company. That we figure we'll give the money away to the rare flowers in Brazil that is under. I'm going. We need the bottom line. We're here to make money. Yeah, streamline that mess. So now somebody in the crowd who's a plant, who's a mole, is going to throw out a statement.
So when you are arguing about illegals that are receiving Medicaid benefits, 1.4 million, 1.4, they are not eligible.
Thank you.
So they will be coming off. So people.
Oh, there it is. There it is. This is the statement that set it all off, y'all. That launched the whole hoax. So you hear somebody in the audience, people are gonna die. Argument's over. Argument is over. I'm not gonna defend how stupid it would be to be paying for the medical services of all these illegal immigrants. So what I'm just gonna say is if you take away all of this medical money for these illegal immigrants, people are gonna die. Now she done had it up to here. So what does she say to this?
All are not, well, we all are going to die.
Now I felt her pain. You can see it like I'm talking to dummies. They're just throwing stuff out. Look, I'm not, you know what? Well, we're all going to die. Sarcastically speaking, and watch what they turn this into.
So for heaven's sakes, folks, okay.
That's a wrap. What's the point? F it, we're all gonna die, in the words of Republican Senator Joni Ernst.
Send in the clowns. There it is. Yeah, just like the bloodbath statements. Now all of a sudden, this woman, in her response to Medicaid being removed from people, her response is, hey, stop whining about it. People are gonna die. Yeah, and we're all gonna die. Suck it up. This is what they're trying to portray that statement as.
Telling a voter who was worried that Medicaid cuts would cost lives, quote, we all are going to die.
Yeah, left out the whole beginning of that context, right? Left out all of the heckling, all of that. and left out what she was saying that Medicaid should be used for and how it's going to benefit Americans. All of a sudden now, just a random person in the audience said, you know what, people are going to die. And she said, yeah, well, we're all going to die.
Her defense of the idea that Republicans are using this moment to slash your health care and funnel money to multimillionaires is...
Oh, well, you missed a lot of what she was saying, though. Don't forget, slash the money we're spending on illegal immigrants and on folks that should not be on it. That's what she's talking about. She's not talking about all of the regular folks that should be on it. But see, they leave that out. So now you get a chance to see how the sausage is made when it comes down to the fake news, which it is sour, rotten, stinking, moldy, filled with nothing but pork, swine, flies, gnats, roaches, and they just chop up anything and put it in their sausage as they sitting back lying about how what she said in the context that she said it in.
Is, quote, well, we are all going to die.
We are all going to die.
See the leprechaun?
Literally what she said.
Literally, the senator who told constituents we're all going to die.
Comment she made at a town hall last week about death.
What the heck? Was that a guy or a girl? Boy, I tell you, man, he was, I don't know what that is. He's very gentle, though. Very gentle. The comment she said about death.
At a town hall last week about death.
Yes? About death. About death. I mean, you see how foul these people are. And then look, the Democrats told him, go out there and make it seem like Republicans are heartless. They don't care about these people. And she's talking about all Americans. She might be talking about your grandmama. You know what I'm saying? Your kids. And when they take Medicaid away from all of them. Not just the illegal immigrants and the people that shouldn't be on it. All of them. Yeah, because you know that's what the Republicans are going to do. They're going to take it away from the kids and the grandmothers and stuff. Yeah. And her response was, hey, we're all going to die. So stop whining about it. Yeah, that's what they want you to think.
Joni, we know, the American people know that at some point in their lives, they are going to pass away.
What? You and your imagination, Hawker Jeffries. Nobody's going to pass away. Let's continue.
The cause of death should not be Republican cruelty.
See? You lose the argument. So now Republicans are cruel and they just want to take away Medicaid and Medicare from moms, kids, old people, and just to kill them. See how stupid and simplistic, though, their arguments are. They're so simplistic that they're stupid. Because when you strip them down to the bare scruples, you're telling me Republicans are just evil and want to see people die so we can save a buck or two. That's it. Now, you know that's not it. I mean, you would have to be a complete dumb liberal to think that is the motivation of the Republicans and the sum of that statement. Hey, do you know if you take Medicaid away from grandmas and everybody who should be on it and children who should be on it, if you do that, which y'all said you weren't going to do it, but we're just going to say you are. But if you do that, people are going to die. Yeah? Well, we're all going to die. That's what they want you to think just took place in that town hall meeting with all of those Republicans.
The cause of death should not be this disgusting abomination of a bill.
But she did say...
And see, that's why they send these people to these town hall meetings, to invoke a response like that, so then they can take a comment out of context.
Say in question to a constituent about Medicaid cuts, we're all going to die, which, as we've said on this show, fact check true, that is true, we're all going to die.
We all are going to die. Peak MAGA.
Been in the grave.
See?
After constituents turn on Iowa Senator Joni Ernst for her answer about millions losing health care.
No, people didn't turn on her. They were sent in there and they were already turned on her. Those people came in to do just what took place. Harass her, antagonize her, throw out statements, interrupt her until she says something that they could use for moments like this.
Could this lead to grave consequences for her political future?
An Iowan tells Senator Joni Ernst that Republican cuts to critical programs will cause people to die.
Yeah, that's what she told him. Just like that, right? Fake behind Raggedy Patty. Well, let's see who that person was in that audience that threw that statement out.
The response from Joni Ernst, we're all going to die.
Yeah.
That's literally what she said.
Literally.
In all my years in politics, I've really Never heard an answer quite like that one.
Just today, over the last 24 hours, Senator Joni Ernst, a veteran herself who swore an oath both in uniform and outside of uniform.
Hey, look at this propaganda. A veteran herself that swore an oath between that. So let's see.
Said in response to Medicaid cuts, oh, listen, we're all going to die. This is no big deal.
Well, what is a big deal is that dump truck head you got. I mean, I got a bald head and all, but it's in proportion. When I turn to the side, it's in proportion. That guy got a dump truck on top of his shoulders. His dump truck brings all the girls in the yard and they're like, it's better than yours. So dump truck head right there on that little body is making stuff up. She's that former veteran. And
her response was, well, we're all going to die.
Now here we go. Send in the bootleg clergy. They spreaded this rumor all over the place. They got down to the bootleg protesters that they done drug out there and the bootleg pastors that come out and stuff. And now this guy.
And that may be true, but you don't have any right to kill me.
The spokesperson for Senator Ernst said this, quote, while Democrats fearmonger against strengthening the integrity of Medicaid, Senator Ernst is focused, blah, 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 focused on...
Oh, that blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you don't want to read it all? You don't want the people to know the context? So you're just going to downplay it, blah, blah, blah? You see how evil they are? Yeah, and I'm here to expose it.
On improving the lives of Iowans. Those were Iowans.
We were all saying that's a lie.
Bam! There she is. That's the little mole that threw that statement out there. And guess what? She's a Democrat running for office. She's not just your everyday constituent. She's not just some regular person sitting in that audience worried about their grandmother and stuff. No, she's a Democrat running for office that was in there to do exactly what she did. Throw out stupid statements like that until she get a frustrated response like, you know what, you guys, look, we're all going to die. And that's all she needed. Her 15 seconds of it.
That's a lie. And she started to respond back and forth. And I said, people will die. And she responded directly to me.
Senator Joni.
Yeah, and you're ugly. Let's continue.
Ernst from Iowa was asked about some of the Medicaid cuts and said people are going to die. She responded back saying that people are going to die.
And then when Joni Ernst is asked what she's going to do about the fact that maybe 40%.
Oh, y'all hear Beaker? Y'all hear this Joe Biden is the best, the Biden. He's Kojak. So y'all hear Beaker?
Of children in the state of Iowa, her state, are going to be impacted by Medicaid cuts, and about 50% of seniors.
Notice they leaving out the main ingredient. The people who are going to be impacted are people who shouldn't be on it. Wonder why they're leaving that out. Could that be on purpose? To make her seem like she's cold and callous? And these cuts are going to just be far spread across people who legitimately are receiving Medicaid. Yeah. They just willfully omit all that information in context. And yet people fall for this. See, so I got to expose it. I can't sit back and let them do this.
That are in nursing homes in her state are going to be impacted by these cuts. Her response is, well, we're all going to die anyway. And Joni Ernst feels confident enough not only to say, well, you're going to die anyway, and her response is, we're going to all die anyway.
Because we're all going to die anyway.
All gonna die
You're taking
anyway.
away your life, your quality of life when you're going to die anyway.
Yeah.
Now, see him adding on to it? That's how a rumor starts, y'all. Yeah, it starts one way. Then by the end of it, that chapter, you know what? She said that she personally is going to go out and start killing folks. She's going to kill them. Put them out of their misery. Matter of fact, I heard that she's going to be opening up a euthanasia type office for folks that are sick and can't afford that they get healed. That we're just going to put them out of their sleep. That we're going to be going ahead and they're just adding stuff to it. Unbelievable.
Hey, you're going to die anyway.
No, agreed.
Why not sooner rather than later?
I really encourage.
Yeah, I'm sure she added that too, right? That's what Joni was saying. Yeah, we're going to die anyway, so why not sooner than later? My gut tell me this rumor is changing.
Republicans to adopt that slogan in the 2026 congressional campaigns.
You see Stoney Jackson? Yeah, with sweetness. Yeah, no base, tight knees. You already know he's up to shenanigans. No base, tight knees up there like this. Ooh, yes, tell me more. Tell me more. Unbelievable. Look how he's just sitting there. Eyes wide open like, I'm excited to hear your propaganda.
Vote GOP, we're all going to die anyway.
We're going to die anyway. It makes perfect sense to cut Medicaid and shut down rural hospitals all over the country. Why? Because, look, you don't need health care. You're going to die anyway. This is.
Hey, you see? You don't think that this right here is a coordinated effort? Yes, we got the soundbite we needed. Send out the word. Here's the messaging. Republicans are cutting health care, and their response is, you're going to die anyway. Just like that, the whole fake news is repeating this.
People are going to die anyway. You shouldn't worry about it. For her to, deflect and say, oh, this is, people are going to die anyway. You shouldn't worry about it. I mean, my God, how not be in touch with reality is that?
How out of touch with reality is that? So I guess we're not all going to die at some point. So now here she is, Joni Ernst. She decided, I guess, to come out like Major Payne when he told that little boy, so I guess you want me to take back some of the hurtful things I said? Okay. I'm sorry. You're just a little worm that can't hold your liquid in public. Now get out my face before I pick you up and throw you out that window. That's what's about to happen. So they wanted her to come out and say she was sorry, y'all. Let's see how that went.
Hello, everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely apologize for a statement that I made yesterday at my town hall. See, I was in the process of answering a question that had been asked by an audience member when a woman who was extremely distraught screamed out from the back corner of the auditorium, "People are going to die."
Yeah.
And I made an incorrect assumption.
What? They
that
weren't going to die?
everyone in the auditorium understood that, yes, we are all going to perish from this earth. So
Yeah, that's just a rumor. Apparently, there's some people who aren't. I guess, we got a whole bunch of biblical characters walking around that aren't going to see death. So, sounds like what she's doing is sensitive. Yeah, y'all. Sound like she's becoming sensitive. Let's see.
apologize. And I'm really, really glad that I did not have to bring up the subject of the tooth fairy as well.
No! Let them die. Yep. So wait a minute. You telling me that whole scripted apology in the graveyard was there to mock the media? Now, I'm not a huge Joni Ernst fan, but I'm glad she didn't bend the knee with a serious apology, as if folks couldn't listen to what she was really saying and understand what she was talking about, who she was talking about. Don't let the media bully you into, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. At first, man, I was getting concerned. I was like, she better not. If she, ooh. And then she hit him with that. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't bring up the tooth fairy for all the babies who think, so let's go ahead and see how they respond to her apology for being insensitive.
That was the non-apology from Senator Joni Ernst.
Now they mad about that.
To die when one of her constituents at a town hall expressed anguish over rollbacks to Medicaid.
If you were wondering, yes.
If you're wondering why her hair looks like Michael Jackson's hair, what is that? What is all the stringiness going on there? No curls? Good grief. Gotta be kidding me. So I'm wondering why your hair is out of place like that. That's what I'm wondering. Look like you just got jumped. She got that I got jumped hair. Oh, get off me, girl. Nah, I can't believe they jumped me. Where's my barrettes? My hair all over the place. So let's continue hearing her pretend she's all serious and upset that Joni Ernst gave a mock apology.
Senator Joni Ernst did appear to be filming that mock apology from a cemetery.
I don't know what's going on with her. I imagine she has consultants. Maybe they were on vacation.
No, she just knew that you guys are being dumb and stupid, immature, evil, pushing propaganda. So she decided to go ahead and play into it. And that's how you got to deal with them. That's why I said I could never, ever run for office because, I would tick them all off. They'd be so mad at me. I heard you once called Nasty Pelosi, Nasty Pelosi. Yes, I did. Absolutely. What, she's not nasty? Are you kidding me? She is. Look at her. She's a bag of bones. Okay? Monkey paw hands and all. I let them have it. Double down on it. double down, make him real mad. Oh, he doubled down on it. He called her out mush mouth. Yeah, she doesn't got a mush mouth. Tell me I'm lying.
But then she does the creepy cemetery video that is so condescending and like dripping with just disdain.
With disdain. And the kind of the creepy thing. Yeah, condescending and disdain towards you all. Who's out there talking about the Republicans are killing babies and stuff, and their response is typical MAGA.
For our own constituents.
You actually mock people that tell you the truth.
He's back.
About 40% of children in your home state pinned on Medicaid.
And she's not cutting that. You see the lies? No wonder she got out there and mocked them. Because we're going to find out what she really said, the part that they left out at the end.
For their primary health care, that up to 50% of seniors in nursing homes depend on Medicaid and the funding for Medicaid, and you're mocking them?
Do you see the lies? Why aren't they talking about who she was talking about? She's talking about the illegal immigrants and folks who do not deserve Medicaid because they're healthy. But these idiots, they just refuse to report the whole truth, man. Unbelievable.
And talking about the tooth fairy, go into a graveyard and make jokes about how everybody's going to die anyway. And she decides...
No, you guys are the joke. That's what you don't realize. You're the joke.
She's going to a cemetery and talk about the tooth fairy, and then she's trying to explain it away by talking about tooth fairies in a cemetery. I'm sorry, going to a cemetery to mock your constituents and talk...
No, not your constituents. Democrat operatives. Like the Democrat dummy that's running for office who threw the statement out there in the first place. She's not mocking her constituents. She's mocking all of the folks y'all sent in there to harass her, and then y'all pick up this stupid soundbite trying to make it seem like she just was, I don't care about these people, and I mean, what, we all gonna die.
Talk about the tooth fairy. I think he's better than he's ever been.
Yeah, that's that guy.
This version of Biden,
he wants us to listen to him.
Intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden.
Go, Jet.
When have you ever heard a politician who thought it was a good idea to talk about death?
They become callous and cruel and indifferent, nihilistic.
So they just go from one lie to the next. So now she comes out, mocks them, and what do? They go from saying she wants to kill people to now she's mocking about killing people. Unbelievable. Yeah, she doubles down on the killing and doubles down on the killing.
For the people that largely believe in something, right? These are supposed to be the religious people too.
Oh God. Now we got to bring in religion. They're supposed to be the religious people too, unlike us. Unlike us, all of us leftists. We don't believe in that stuff.
They're really nihilists.
Existential dread, fatalism. You know, dark forecasts of our inevitable
doom and gloom, death, thunder, lightning.
But hopefully, a little bit off in the distance, demise is not like a strategy I've ever really seen before.
Yeah, I've never really seen before. I don't understand sarcasm, and I don't understand her belittling all of our lies and our hoax that we tried to push. Well, we don't get it.
Like by any politician ever, there's it's unprecedented.
It's way over the top to talk
about. Oh God. See, they don't understand the whole lean into it concept. You got to lean into it. Like when Trump was on that debate stage and they asked him about all of the hurtful things he said about women, and he leaned into it with only Rosie McDonald, and everybody loved it. They respected that. So what she did, she leaned into it because she knows the source of what they're saying. These are evil people. They have bad intentions. Yeah. So there's no way you're going to appease these people. Even if you were to apologize, they will still use that. They will still be out there where Republicans are going to kill babies. Yeah, when it comes down to Democrats and the fake news, you don't give them an inch. You don't buckle whatsoever. You stand flat-footed right in front of them, chin up, and say, yeah, I said it, so what? Come on. Let's continue as we close.
All of us are going to die.
She could have walked back those initial comments. Sure, they'd always show up in a general election. But if she had just said, I misspoke. Of course, I care about taking care of all of my constituents.
Because she did say that, and we're about to see.
Story would be over today.
Medicaid is extremely important here in the state of Iowa.
What?
If you don't want to listen, that's fine. what you don't want to do is listen to me when I say that we are going to focus on those that are most vulnerable. Those that meet the eligibility requirements for Medicaid, we will protect. We will protect them.
Wow. Now, isn't that odd how they left that part out? But no, she never referred to them. She basically was saying that everybody in the whole state is going to lose Medicaid, except her. We're going to, reserve all that Medicaid just for, her and the rest of the MAGA Republicans. That's it. Unbelievable, these people. So you see what they're about. They're not about news. They're about propaganda. And, even though I have my qualms with her, she handled that with humor. And she did not give them the apology that they wanted. So the best they could do is take her mocking them and try to turn that into something too. So she might have passed that test, but we'll see if she passed the rest of the test coming up, because she got rhino potential. She got rhino potential. But in that case, hey, never bend the knee to those people, which we're going to be talking about tonight at 6 when we come back, because we're going to be talking about how the left is trying to make Trump, ICE, us, all of us bend the knee. So we will go ahead and give them their way in regards to allowing all of these illegal immigrants to stay. And we can't do that. This is a fight that is worth going all the way to the grave on. You're like, nah, man. If we got to fight this one, until the last man standing, this is where we take our stand. This is where we fight. This is where they die. Yeah, so we cannot let them win this one. And I'll be back today, later on, with another live stream, y'all, making up for the couple live streams I missed. So 6 o'clock, be here, be square. Now, with that being said, I'm looking at who over here upside down on his back, knocked out. You are feeling, if you a dog and you on your back, knocked out, you are in the REM sleep. Rapid eye movement. He's dreaming about bones, the little balls that he liked to bite, the squeaky balls. He's dreaming about all of that. Knocked out, man. So anyway, I'm not going to wake him. So I just want to say thanks, though, for checking out the show. Be back at 6. And thanks, Don. I see you, man. I didn't think you was going to make it. I was like, I bet you she's busy during the middle of the day or whatever. But you made it. All of you guys who made it this afternoon, thank you. But remember, though, you got to go ahead, and they're probably going to send out the second notification. So I'll be back at 6, though, to do a more heavier live stream about what they are planning for this Saturday. I think it's something very sinister, and we better brace for it. We better brace for impact. All right. Also, if you didn't get a chance, check out my video I did about my friend Dylan McCullough, who I entitled the video, "The Most Amazing Story Ever." But for some reason, YouTube didn't send out notifications, so it's only got like 700 views, which is bullcrap. It's been out for like 4 or 5 days. But it is a wonderful story, and I actually want to bring him on to talk about it. So please check it out if you can. Somebody asked for a you-know-who cameo. Yeah, okay, there we go. The one that faked her pregnancy. Yeah, she's not pregnant. That's why I let her grow a visor over her eyes right there. Did you fake it? Were you faking it? Did you go out and get plastic surgery on your boobs? Because she grew boobs all of a sudden. I was like, she got to be pregnant. But her stomach is not getting bigger at all. And the boobs seem like they're disappearing. She got a bad plastic surgeon. I know it costs a lot because you got like 6 or 8 of them or something like that. But geez, could have did a better job than that. So I don't think she is pregnant, but we'll see. Now, with that being said, let's get out of here until I see y'all again this afternoon. Let's bounce. This is all city. I know you see the way we tear up the place, yeah. God bless. Take care.